Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Zermo88 bringing you guys a product today from Shooter's Element. Product that I'm going to be showing you guys how to install and how to install properly is their extended mag release. Shooter's Element has a couple different ones of these. A couple different colors. Comes in black, comes in red. This one here, you can see it has the ribbed texture on it. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install it. Not really too difficult on the install, kind of noisy, so if you have your volume up, turn it down just a slight bit because I have to knock a pin out. This is my CZ Scorpion Evo with the stock magazine release. It's not horrible, but it's not really all that functional. If I were to go ahead and, I can use my fingers to change it out, but if I were to have a magazine, which I'll show you whenever it comes down through, gripping, I have to practically get up in here in order to pull it. Or if I were to use my finger, it's just, I don't know, to me the stock magazine release is just not that practical. I like to have the extended one. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install it. I have my punch kit, so my hammer and my punch. This pin right here, if you can see it, this pin right here is what you're going to have to knock out. As you're pushing this pin down through, and then once you flip it upwards, after the pin's already out, and you would end up pushing it slightly back, you can tell that's under tension. There is a spring inside. So make sure if you're doing this, make sure you're doing it in a controlled environment, so that way you don't lose your roll pin or you don't lose your spring that's sitting on the inside of here. So let's get started. So I've got my punch. It's not really too hard in there. Just like that, it's already starting to come through, and I hardly hit it at all. Those are just love taps, if you will. And once you take your roll pin out, you can go ahead and inspect it and make sure it didn't start to unroll on you. This one here is still in really good shape. So then you can tell that there's tension on it now, because before there was tension on that roll pin. So this here, it's kind of snug on the inside. So once you knock out the roll pin, take your punch. I like to go ahead with removing anything. This is my first time doing this and doing the install with it. So I know that there's a spring underneath here. So I always end up taking my hand and I'll cover it up just in case anything were to come flying out. I don't have to search 2-3 days to find a small little spring. So as I'm removing my punch, I know now that nothing's going to fly out. Just like that. And as you slowly start to rock this back, you can see right there's your spring. So I don't lose any parts. Got my roll pin, I got my spring, I got my mag release. 3 parts. That's all you needed. So I take my existing spring out, can reuse this, take my old magazine release. As you can see the difference in size. The one from Shooter's Element is huge compared to the stock one. Just look at the different size. Not so much left and right size, a little bit thicker, but size up and down is, let's see if I can get both of them in here, a lot bigger than the stock one. So let's go ahead and do the exact same steps we did before in the opposite order. Take my spring that I had before. You notice here with the Shooter's Element 1 has this little tab right here. That's where your spring goes. So set this down inside. As you're setting it down, you notice that it'll end up catching. See? Yeah, this was my first time too. Make sure that the hole lines up and it's right on that edge there. Just like so. So once you got that, you rotate it forward. You can take your pin and start to feed it through on the opposite side. Just like that. Set it down. Probably best set it like that and line up your holes. Once you get your holes lined up, take your hammer. Start that. And keep that positive pressure with your thumb to the rear of the gun. Once you get that started and seated, I'll go ahead and take my punch to make sure it's flush, and then I'll give it a function check. You can tell my spring's in the right spot, because obviously it's bouncing back. Take my magazine. Oh, look at that, that's wicked. Can definitely do one-handed mag changes now. Let me see here. I got a 30 round magazine. Let me see if I can grab that. It's 20. So here's a 30 round magazine. This here from Shooter's Element, it almost acts like a guide. So if I'm sitting there and if I'm in a hurry and if I even slap it up against this, it almost is, you know, an extra guide in order to get that magazine up in there. So it's almost like a quarter of an extended mag well. I mean, I won't even have to use my trigger finger anymore in order to get that magazine. I mean, I could. I mean, if I wanted to, you know, go ahead and, sorry for that, depress it that way and be able to extend it. But I think all my extended, or all my mag changes now is going to be single-handed. I mean, that is really, really smooth. Shooter's Element. You definitely got to give it to them. It sticks out there good ways, but, I mean, I like it. To be able to go ahead and have a 30 round magazine and be able to completely cope your hand up inside, all the way up in there, squeeze, and slide it down. It's not beveled enough that it would catch your thumb, but it's in there good enough, it's curved enough to be able to still slide straight out. That's a 30 rounder, this is a 20 rounder. Even with that, I still have enough room on both sides in order to squeeze to be able to remove that magazine. Kudos to Shooter's Element for making a good product. Definitely going to keep this one on and probably junk the stock one because that one's crap. So I'll put a link down in the description below to Shooter's Element. That's how you properly install the extended mag release from Shooter's Element. Like I said before, take your roll pin, take your punch, push it down through. You got a spring on the opposite end, down inside here. Once you set it up, rotate it out, spring comes out. You gotta put the spring back in. You gotta keep positive pressure as it's collapsed. So keep that positive pressure down as you're feeding that pin down through. It's a little bit harder to do it on video camera. I was having a little bit hard time being able to see what I was doing. But yeah, not too hard. Shooter's Element Extended Mag Release. Well, guys, if you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell button, so that way you can see more videos that I'm coming up. I'm going to be doing a review on this DI Optical red dot here soon, so hope to see you then. Server More 88, thanks for watching.